Hey, welcome to Feisty Chess. I've got black against Cole McCracken on Lee Chess. Is d4. Let's play knight f6 and see what white's up to. Okay, been trying to get a Benoni, and white usually won't cooperate, so let's try for the Benoni here. Okay, the main move would be d5. So white kind of needs to cooperate to make that happen. I think we should just take here. And have to be careful not to get into like a Sicilian position here, but I like the look of knight c6. Okay. Can I get away with d5? That's what I want to play. It could leave me with kind of a poor structure on the queen side. Maybe e6 and then d5, knight d5. He wants to play e4, and that would be a Sicilian, so I want to avoid that. Just because I don't know those positions well, and I don't play them that well. I'm going to go with a more open d5 here. Worst case scenario, this leaves me with a bit of a poorer structure than white. Okay, but now I can get this bishop out. And if he plays bishop here, I think I'll just take. And I think he needs to take with the queen so he can hold on to c4. And then, yeah, after queen takes on c4, I think rook c8 looks appealing. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Just make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, rook c8 looks good. I need to guard that knight anyway, and now I get to put my rook opposite the queen. I think I might have a little bit of a development lead here. I like my position. Okay, and I'll happily take with the rook. He wants to go for this pin. Is it worth gambiting that pawn? Queen b6 looks good, though. He doesn't have knight d5. And he doesn't have knight a4 as long as his queen sits there. There's also just a6. Keeping the knight out of b5. But the knight coming to b5 isn't really a threat anyway. So I think my queen is happier here. Yeah, guarding a7. And watching b2. So I might pose black a problem or two. Pose white a problem or two developing this bishop. Okay, he looks like he wants to come to d4 with the knight against the pinned rook. So we can stop that with e5. And I've got a good share of the center now. Where's that bishop want to go? c5, it's overprotecting that square, but it's kind of biting on granite. d6 offers some protection to the pawn. So I like the look of d6. If I want to swing that rook over to the king side, though, it could get in the way. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with e7. D6. D6 looks a little better. I might get a chance to play e5. Let's just guard that pawn. Shouldn't spend too much time quibbling over a move like where to develop your bishop when you've got several decent options. Castling is my next move, at which point my rook won't be pinned anymore. Okay. Now I'm ready to maybe jump into, if he goes bishop b2 here according to plan, I've got rook c2. Okay. I want a future with that knight. This rook looks good here. Guarding the bishop so I can still have rook c2, and his bishop doesn't have a good square to go to. Can't. I don't think a3 or b2 is good for him. b2 is especially not good because then I have rook c2, which I believe just wins a piece. Everything's protected. This queen guards this rook. Okay, he's shifting gears with the knight. Do I want to shut that knight down with g6? Is that worthwhile here? He's got queen h5 then. h4. Okay. Got a really active position. What can I do here? I could go rook c2. That's got to be a good move, right? I think maybe this rook belongs on c8 rather than d8, but Knight to f5. Is g6 worth it? Okay, let's play g6. It also takes care of a back rank problem. And if queen comes here to try to attack the knight, I have king g7 or bishop e7. Bishop e7 looks good enough. A little down on time here. This is just like the good old days. Actually, I have if queen over here, I have bishop f8 might be a better spot for my bishop, because then the rook protects the knight. So that's a nice thing about the rook on the third rank. Maybe a plan is to play a6 and then bishop to put that pawn in a more solid square, and then bishop back here. And I had some ideas there. Okay, he goes for the bishop there. Do I attack that bishop with a rook to c2 now? I think I do. I'm going to do that. Rook on the 7th. It's worth something in itself. I could put a piece on f4 right now, for instance, because f2 is sort of weak with my rook on the 7th. I could play something like bishop c5. Bishop c5 actually looks pretty good here. If he takes here, okay, he's going for this. But now I just gain time on his queen, don't I? Well, bishop c5 is still possible here. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. That doesn't look very good. I'm going to do this. And he can take that pawn with his bishop. I didn't even look at rook takes bishop. That was a real possibility here. His queen invades my position then. Knight d4. I've got some real attacking ideas here. Knight d4, queen h6, then I got bishop f8. Fortunately, I have that dark square bishop, or I'd be really hurting on the king side. But the idea of knight d4 is a sacrifice idea here, which I'm not sure works. But we're not committed to it just yet. The knight doesn't have to do that. I've also got... No, that's no good. Let's play knight d4. Hitting the queen. The natural move would be queen h6 threatening mate. There might be a repetition of moves to be had, actually, but I don't want to settle for that again. The thing about queen h3 is that on this diagonal, it can come back to g5. Queen h3, bishop f8, queen g5. It still guards, it guards e3, so that's pretty critical. Things are looking kind of loose for me here. Oh, you know, I also have bishop f6. Don't want to trade off the bishops. So I don't have to scare the queen again. If I were black, I probably would have already played queen h6. Okay, he wants to attack my rook. Queen c6 looks good here. There's also knight. There's knight b4, strange enough. I don't think that does much for me. With queen c6, he's got queen d5, and the knight is pinned. But then I have bishop c5. Oh, I don't like the look of queen d5. Queen d4, I mean. So there's also queen here, queen c5. I think is a little better. At this point, I'm kind of shaky about my king side. I would welcome a queen trade, especially since time is so low for me. Queen trades are good when you're low on time. Even if you're maybe down a pawn or two, because it just simplifies the position so much. I don't know. I've learned not to screw around with time trouble. If he goes bishop d4, that could be a good move. Then I might have to play queen c6, and he gets my a pawn. But I must have some kind of compensation for that. I must have something there. So bishop d4 looks like a good move for white here. White's probably looking for some kind of tactic. Things look kind of held together thinly here. You know, my pieces are all guarded, but only by one other piece most of the time. So there's kind of tenuous connection here. The queen, that bishop is the only thing guarding that rook, which if it weren't guarded, this knight would be pinned. Whew, lots of tactics here. Bishop d4, if that. I'm looking at, this is probably a really stupid idea, looking at f5 if bishop d4, but then queen d4 threatens mate immediately. Okay. That looks like a waiting move, strange enough, just to get rid of any left. No, I can't get away with bishop f6. Maybe knight f6. Okay, I'm going to try knight f6. Hit that queen, resolve a little bit of this tension in the middle. If he tries queen d5, I will just snap off those queens in a heartbeat. Queen d4, I mean. Okay. This is good. My dark star bishop can cover some weaknesses. Oh, okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. Okay, he's got that. Do I have anything here? Rook check? I've got to have something. And force the king to h2. And then I've got this, but he gets back in time to defend. I can hit the rook in the corner with bishop f6. This looks like a strong move. I'm just going to play this. So he's got a pawn, but now I feel like I have the better position. Okay, let's keep pressing with the bishop. We can grab here on a2. And we're guarding this pawn twice. I think he's got a weakness over here. We're generally more active. This looks good. We can take and guard f7. Oh my gosh. I just had like a heart attack of the mind. Whew. Okay. Well, I feel like I still have a better position as long as I can deal with that small threat. Maybe I just go king g2, king g7 here. Let's look at the analysis board and see if I can solve this puzzle. I feel like I'm doing fine. Maybe grabbing the pawn wasn't the best way to defend here, but there's not really a huge threat. I mean, rook g8, and it's not over by any means. Maybe I just attack this knight, and if rook checks, queen can also check. This looks okay. The knight's got to go back someplace, and then I can force his rook back. So yeah, maybe just something like king g2, but I panicked. I had a little mind panic there. Let's see what the computer thinks. I can at least take some solace if I'm winning. Oh, it's okay. It's a half a pawn. I'm a little bit better. It's an equal position, but that's what time trouble does. It turns an equal position into a losing one. So, okay, bummer on that one. Let's look at the whole game, though. I feel like it was a pretty good game. Knight f3. And I really want to play... d5 is definitely the best move here. The Benoni is not for the faint of heart. Here's how the Benoni would go, since I never get a chance to show it on the channel. And I'm still trying to learn it for years. And then I take... Oops, he plays knight c3. And we trade. And then I get this, and I'm going to fianchetto this bishop. He's got a variety of setups. Usually e4 and knight f3. I castle, and it's a fun position. Anyway, white was boring and played knight f3. And from here, it's like Sicilian type stuff. e5 is a good move. Okay. I should go for e5 here. That seems like the kind of move I want to play. I didn't like how it made this kind of backward d-pawn. These squares are weak. Well, the d5 square is weak for sure. But after knight b5, I can just probably get away with d5 anyway. And then I'm good. Yeah, I'd be very comfortable here. So that's what I'll do against this line in the future. I went knight c6, and now after knight c3, d5 is probably not as good. Looks like white wins most of these games, but all the other lines seem like Sicilian-type lines. I didn't want to play Sicilian lines. I've got a thing about the Sicilian, okay? I don't want to talk about it. e6. I mean, that allows this Marozzi bind of e4. e6, I'm sure the computer's going to say e4 is the move. No? e4 is not a good move here? Okay. Well, maybe I have a thing or two to learn about variations that look like the Sicilian. Playing the Smith-Morra against the Sicilian, I don't get the... I used to play the main lines, or at least different sidelines against the Sicilian. I used to get more positions that informed me about black systems against the Sicilian. But since I picked up the Smith-Morra, and I am addicted to the Smith-Morra, I haven't been able to... I haven't had that experience, that exposure lately. So knight c3, d5. Yeah, okay, the computer doesn't like this move. But after e3, that's such a timid move. Ooh, it doesn't like bishop here. Oh, e5, that makes a lot of sense. And then you kind of got a reverse Grunfeld idea going on, where black gets the big center, and white gets to chip away at it. Probably take here, and then fianchetto this bishop to eye this, this center. It's either a reverse Grunfeld or something like a semi-Terrace. But those aren't really my specialties either. Okay, so I was happy with this development. This can't be that good for white, right? It likes knight take d4. Knight takes d4 the best. Oh, that's another option. That forces... yeah, okay. He takes. It frees the bishop, but it gives white this isolated pawn, and black doesn't have the development disadvantage he usually would against this system. It seems like black's got a free move in here because of rook c8. And queen d7. If he goes for that pawn, well, I guess maybe not rook c7 immediately. Anyway, I like black's position here. Instead, the game went like such. And yeah, black is a little preferred here. Maybe a6 was better. I felt like I needed to develop my queen, and I liked how it looked at b2. Yeah, I don't think knight e7, knight e2 is a good idea, because e4 just shuts that knight's plans down. And if he wants to play f4, well, he's either going to have to open up this diagonal and not be able to castle by recapturing this with the pawn, or if he recaptures with the knight, well, then his knight has different plans, and he's left with this isolated pawn anyway. And I can target that immediately. So yeah, that's just dead losing for white, actually. So f4 is no good. Okay, yeah, bishop d6, computer likes that. Queen b4. Interesting. I looked at that idea, but I thought that just drops this pawn. Oh. Oh, and the queen's trapped. Totally trapped. Okay, okay, that would have been a decent idea. And I like my position in this ending. I won't need to castle my king. I can centralize my king more quickly, and my rook will come out just as quickly that way. So this is advantage black. Okay, I could have gone for that. Yeah, rook c2 right away, hitting that knight would have been good. I've got this under control with my queen. Okay, it doesn't hate g3, g6. Rook c2 it still likes. I should have got that rook to the 7th much sooner than I did. Still likes rook c2 here. And does like rook takes b2. No, king g7. Okay. Oh, knight f5 check. Oh, this is scary stuff. I'm going to lose that knight. Ooh, how is this good for black? Oh, because I get the bishop at the end of this. And my king should be okay. This bishop is well defended. I can't play bishop e7 because there's a mate on h1. g3, interestingly, is the move for white. But yeah, I can see how this is all right. I could play bishop c7. I got some untangling to do, but I'm up a full piece. So scary line. Gives it a little advantage to white here. Giving up a pawn. I never did get that pawn back. No. Okay, I got one pawn back. And I got both pawns back. I thought I was up a pawn at this point, but I was just even. Strictly even according to the computer. So yeah, king g7. Yeah, that's not actually even a good move. King g7. And then if he wants to leave the 8th rank, I can just check and force his king back since my bishop keeps his king on the back rank. But yeah, this is just analysis. This never even happened in the game. So this is where I lost on time. I should have at least thought of a move quickly, and then in the case of running out of time, just play the move, or frankly play any move. It's better than just running out of time. But such is life. Try too hard to be feisty sometimes, and then that's what happens. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay feisty.